Hello there. I'm Daniel Lader, founder of Lader CPA and Associates, and welcome back to our ongoing series, Building a Successful Private Practice from Beginning to Infinity. Why did the therapist and the accountant cross the road? To figure out if the chicken's issues were emotional or deductible. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the topic this week is going to be strategic tax planning with a CPA for long-term success. Now, taxes are not just about April 15th. They're about setting yourself up for success year after year. So the goal of what we're talking about today is to show you why working with a CPA isn't just about filing your tax returns, but it's about creating a strategy that reduces your taxes, builds financial stability, and supports long-term practice growth. So let's jump right in. Why does this all matter? Well, you may know and you may agree with this, but therapists, they often only think about taxes once a year, near April 15th. But, and without tax planning, you are at the risk of overpaying or missing out on valuable strategies. Now, a CPA can help you align your tax plan with your practice goals and your personal life. So, one thing I love to tell my clients is that when we have a small business, we cannot separate the small business from the owner. We lose all of our good tax strategies when we do that. So a good tax strategist and a good tax planning session is going to look at both the business and the personal stuff together to give you the most leverage when you're controlling your tax strategies. Now, I've talked about this before in previous videos, but strategic tax planning, it includes your practical strategies. These are boring things like keeping your books up to date, establishing your payroll, and staying organized. The boring stuff, but it creates a solid foundation that we can build the other strategies on. Other strategies like choosing the right business structure. This is the question of, are you best as a sole proprietor, as a PLLC, as an S corporation, or something different? So that's a second level of strategy for tax planning. The third is our retirement contributions. What type of retirement account are we using? Are we putting as much as we're able to, or as much as we want to, into that retirement account for the best tax benefits? So that's the third level. The fourth is our benefits and payroll and other things that we can push through the business to cover essentially our otherwise personal expenses. This can include things like your home office deduction, your health insurance. These otherwise normally personal expenses are not deductible until they're properly put through the business. On this fourth level, we also look at other benefits that could be done through payroll, both for yourself and for your employees. Tax advantaged benefits to not only attract more employees and better employees and keep them longer, but also to improve your tax situation. The fifth level is any other tax advantage investments. This is where we can start talking about leveraging other income streams in your business. Talking about other types of investment. Maybe real estate's your thing. Maybe oil and gas or something different is your thing. We can talk about those types of tax advantage investments at that fifth level when we have everything else in place working for you. Now, there's some benefits to strategic planning. First, it helps you avoid costly mistakes and surprises. We don't want those penalties from missing something. Second, it also helps you free up your cash flow for your practice's other necessary investments or expenses. If you're paying less tax, that means there's more cash for you and your business. It's as simple as that. Also, another benefit is it helps us to lower the long-term tax liability. We can plan, we can prepare for multiple years, many years into the future, so that there's a plan in place to help you pay less long term. And it also gives you the peace of mind knowing that your finances and your tax situation is optimized. Taxes are never a surprise unless you're not paying attention to them. So part of the planning is just letting you sleep better at night, knowing that there is something in place for you. Now, I've got some practical tips to share with you as well. As far as tax planning, first, schedule a tax planning session at least once, preferably more throughout the year. Schedule a tax planning session with your CPA. The good ones, the good CPAs and tax preparers will love you for doing this because it means less bad news they have to give you at April 15th. They can help you prepare and control everything instead of just being surprised and shocked by whatever April 15th gives you. Another practical tip, keep your bookkeeping current. Your planning is based on your bookkeeping. If there's no good bookkeeping, there's no good planning. Another practical tip is to treat your tax strategies as part of your business's plan, as part of your business's growth plan. These tax strategies should not be looked at something separate. They should not be taken apart and removed from your main business strategies and goals. They should be incorporated in there so that you know it's working together and at the same time as when you're improving your own business. Now, a few closing thoughts. Think of your CPA not as just your tax preparer, but as your long-term partner for your success. The sooner you plan, the more options you have. Now, I've got a question I'd like you to think about to yourselves. What is one area of your private practice, either practical strategies or structure or retirement or payroll or investments, where a CPA could help you to reduce your taxes over the next 5 years? I promise there are things a good CPA can help you find and do better to reduce your tax situation. Every time I talk with a new client, I promise them I can save them thousands of dollars in taxes. Not because I can see the future and know what I'm going to find, but because I always find thousands of dollars in tax savings that are not being utilized that can be. Now, if you have any questions about this topic, what we've talked about, go ahead and shoot me a DM, a message, an email, whatever. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about this topic. Now, if you would like to schedule a free 30-minute discovery call to talk about your business, your personal stuff, your tax situation, go ahead and DM us. We'll send you a calendar link to get something on the schedule, and you'll talk with someone at my firm, maybe me, where we can talk about your firm's tax situation. Go ahead and follow and subscribe for any future tax tips and events like this one, and don't forget to visit our website, latercpa.com. I'll see you all on the next video. Have a great weekend and keep helping others to help themselves, and let us help you so you can do just that.